Well, top of the morning to you. Or whatever they say from whatever country you're in that best suits good morning. How's everybody doing today? Happy Friday. Today, we're doing something similar to what we did on Wednesday, which is something that I actually had a lot of fun doing. And I kind of want to make it sort of a trend of basically comparing what I would say are the top 6 sims that, now there obviously are some missing ones, like AC1 and ACC are clearly better than some of the ones on this list at what they do. For example, AC1's modability is massive. And arguably some of the best driving you're going to experience. ACC is arguably some of the best GT3 experience you're going to do. However, maybe I'll throw ACC in there for the GT3 comparison that I'm going to do that I haven't done yet. But today we are going to compare specifically AI. Since it's such a great buzzword of the world currently, artificial intelligence is taking over the world. And today we're going to compare how they are programmed in 6 video games, possibly 7. I might throw ACC in there. I'm undecided. The only reason why I didn't is because I'm sticking to driving LMDH cars for today. LMDH cars are slowly starting to kind of pull me in, the driving style, things like that, whereas they're pulling me away from GT3s being the default competitive car that I would like to run with. Everybody likes GT3s. Everybody likes the hypercars. Me personally, if I had to pick one, the hypercar is far superior from a driving experience. Not that I've driven either of them, but the cars that I have driven in real life are much, much closer to a GT3 than they are anything resembling a hypercar. I would love the opportunity to drive any generation hypercar, especially a Group C car, but, you know, I have to understand my limits as a person and know that that is unlikely to ever happen. And for most of you watching, it is also the case. I hate to be the Debbie Downer, but that is the unfortunate truth of the situation. I think today we're going to start with Race Room again. I was considering starting with iRacing because, all right, so fun fact, I personally think iRacing has the best AI with their adaptive AI. However, today is going to kind of make me figure that out. It's always easier to make a personal judgment when you do everything of the same nature back to back rather than play them over a course of random times. You know, your brain forgets, you remember things differently. So today we're going to jump into all of them. I think I want to do iRacing first, however, simply because like I said, I do think iRacing has the best system in play right now. Now, if that's true, we will find out. But that being said, let me get over there. Let me just bump this to a few small places. Go iRacing. Let's get you going here. There goes the Discord. Taking over the screen. Let's get you over here. See. I don't even know why I'm posting this here, but there you go. For anybody in the PMR Discord, there you go. Discord's too busy complaining about problems to actually just enjoy themselves. All right, let's get into the iRacing. Let's see. Oh, no, we don't want to do a test drive. We want to do some AI single player. And we want to create our own race. Yeah, same Eagles. Like, I think I already have my general conclusions, but playing everything back to back really does sort of, you know, can't hide from it. So we're not going to use the MX-5. We're going to keep this interesting. We're going to keep this difficult. We're going to use my favorite LMDH car. This is slowly becoming one of my favorite cars. I've come to the conclusion that, especially in games like PMR, I'm going to have a personal favorite car for each class, and that's the only cars I ever use. And I got to figure out in time who to talk to about liveries, but... Ow. Ah, my throat just acted up there. That was an interesting feeling. Anyway, not doing the Nordschleife. We're going to keep it to Monza. Monza's an easier track to sort of predict as far as, you know, what the AI is going to do. Autodromo. Where you at? There you are. Grand Prix. Fast repairs, no limit. Wave arounds. Sure. Whichever you want. Standing start. Yes. Noon. Yep, that's fine. Weather. Weather is perfect. We want the most amount of grip as possible. Disable car damage. Yes. All right. Continue. Leave debris on the track. If selected, debris will be cleaned off the track before the test session. I don't know. It just seems to be on the track no matter what when I last tried, so. All right, let's see what we got here. We're going to stick to 19 AI drivers across all the sims. Nice, even lower number. Adaptive AI, challenge level low. Small mistakes and inconsistent driving won't overly compromise a good result. Getting a good result will require a steady pace and consistency. Optimized racecraft and lap times are required to get the front of the pack. So, we'll start at low for now. We're going to have to clearly play around a little bit with some of the settings, because that's another thing, too. If I do this test with the AI, no matter what, at max, there's a good chance the AI is going to kick my ass across all the sims, especially in an LMDH car. So we're going to jump around a little bit to see how intuitive it is. For the sake of simplicity with iRacing and Race Room, we're going to run the adaptive AI. Adaptive AIs are incredible. I think they should be in every sim, but they aren't easy to program, which is why I think iRacing's is the best. It's got time. All right. Continue. All right, this is our race here. Bump the light in here and see how this looks. Color shift seems to help a little bit. I like this colorway better for my eyes, but this does help the stream, it looks like. What do you think, Eagles? Which makes me look better? This? Or this? Oh, that's just the TV. I feel like the brighter color is going to make the camera be less crazy during bright scenes and dark scenes. So we'll just stick to that for now. All right, let's see. You weren't looking. Of course, when I asked for help, you weren't looking. All right, let's grid up. Man, I'm jumping into iRacing first off the rip in this morning. Oh, boy. I'm going to get punished. What am I doing here? Oh, and this is also how we're going to be judging the AI. Oh, of course. All right, right here. Race etiquette, difficulty, authentic feeling. So race etiquette, I mean, that should be pretty self-explanatory. You know, do they obey the rules of the road or of the rules of the race? Or do they just pit you to get in front of you? Difficulty, we're going to scale that. We're going to go probably do like a min-max type thing, except for the exception. With the exception of iRacing and Race Room, we're going to stick to the adaptive AI. Because I think if you have adaptive AI, in my opinion, that's the absolute best. They will always adapt to your skill set. So anyway, yeah. Let's get over to iRacing now. What is it? Alt-enter? Yes. All right. Let's get to it. This one's iRacing.
Everyone's gridded.
Oh.
Green.
TC works in the start. Oh, Jesus. I can't even touch the brakes. I'm like tapping the brakes and locking them up. Oh, iRacing, you and your tires. This is going to be a tough one. Like, Holy mother of God, iRacing is going to be a tough one. This is why another reason I wanted to start this one first. Just getting this, like, it's going to be tough for me to, let's see, tow my car to the track, start this race again. Quit. This might be a hard test in iRacing. I'll say that. It requires a level of patience. I have to remind myself that even in like my own made quick start race, you can't even do any level of pushing inside the first couple laps. You really have to sit back and just sort of wait. The good thing is that the AI will adapt to me driving slow to not just leave me in the dust. So there's also no just restarting of a race, which makes it this system feel a little dinosaur-y. All right. Let's try this again.
Everyone's gridded.
Also, for the sake of, what is it?
Green flag, green flag.
We're just going to go max TC, because I don't feel like messing around with, there we go. It's obviously not going to help us from a braking standpoint, but at least I will, somewhat trust my tires in a straight line. Go easy. Nice and gentle. One thing that's cool about Simagic's SimPro software is they have a dash built in already for this particular car. So the dash you see on the screen on the wheel is what I see on my actual wheel. Pretty cool.
Clear on the rock.
Give me some draft, buddy.
Clear.
Jesus. Oh, iRacing.
Clear on the rock.
I might have to use a different car just for iRacing because of its tires. These cars are so hard to drive, and I don't have the patience to learn them for the sake of doing this test. It sucks because the driving feels really good. It just feels like your tires never, ever, ever come up to full, real operating temperature. Remember, these are perfect conditions I have for the track right now. So everything you see here, it can't get better. Oh, yeah. Oh, yep. Saw that one coming. All right. We're gonna have to use a different car. It just is what it is. I'm not gonna be able to drive these cars to show the AI because this is going. A car like this requires like mastering and understanding for you to properly be able to drive it in this game. And I am not that person. And nor will I put that time in. So, we're going to set this up differently. I'm picking a different car. We're going to go Miata. Or, sorry, MX-5. For the, not Americans. Look at all the money to be spent in this game. Here we go. Select. Where's the AI in this? Did I miss where the AI is? Oh, the last one. Duh. Alright, so it automatically defaults to MX-5. Got it. Alright, let's try this again. Alright, now we're going to make this a lot easier by simply driving an MX-5. We're going to stick to our LMDH wheel, though, because that's just the way things are going to be. Alright. This should be a little easier now. I at least fundamentally understand somewhat driving these cars.
Green flag, green flag.
What's going on, Pedro?
Stay on the rod. Keep to the rod. Clear on the left.
Gotta be so careful of driving in iRacing. That's why I'm driving the MX-5 right now. I want to get myself involved in the middle of the pack here. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus.
Too wide. Clear on the right.
Why am I not going? Come on. Oh, my God. I hate iRacing. I genuinely do. It's like the most. We're going to go to the different car. Maybe this is the worst game to start with. I think we're going to abandon iRacing for now. It just requires such a fine art to driving that I don't have the patience for it right now. So we're going to get into something that isn't so ridiculous. The second you go to push, you just can't push. It's such a patient driving game, and, well, I don't have the patience. So I think we're going to start with Race Room. Because Race Room is actually fun. Yeah, how is the Spark Challenge? I haven't tried that yet. No, I mean, like, here's the thing about the MX-5 in iRacing. They're not like that in real life to drive. They are very easy cars to drive. You can throw those things around and they don't lose grip. And the back pedal is that, oh, well, it's on street tires in the game. No, it's actually not. It's not on street tires. All it takes is you to pause the game or zoom in on the car in the pits, and you will see that it's clearly on slicks. So, next excuse. It's Daytona Corvettes versus Mustangs only. It's cool. Nice. I might have to give that a challenge. Or a try. Maybe I will. Maybe I will give it a try. Depending on how long this takes. Alright, so, single player. Or maybe... No. Next week's going to be tough because I'm entering into the Rennsport Creator Challenge for a week, and that's going to go Wednesday to Wednesday. So, all my streams, at least my daytime streams, are going to be strictly, you know... Alright, so... Let's go Monza. Clear skies, 19 adaptive AI. 5 laps. See how we do. Yeah, I don't quite understand why iRacing just makes the experience so difficult. It's what pulls me out of it. You know, there are lots of cars that I've never driven in real life, obviously, but the cars that I have driven don't drive like what iRacing is trying to tell me, which tells me that all the cars don't drive like that. So you just lose me, unfortunately. I think the MX-5s and PMR are relatively easy to drive, especially by comparison to iRacing. All right, let's send it. Here we go, race room. This was my favorite LMDH experience the other day, so let's see how we handle it with a grid of cars now. Now, Race Room also has adaptive AI. Man, this game is so clear looking. This is where their AI does get a little wonky. They don't know what to do right now because there's 20 cars all trying to take the same turn. Oh, I gotta fix that before I continue. I don't know if you noticed, I was barely turning with the wheel. So, let's see. Where are we at here? Oh, let's do it this way. For the sake of authenticity. Jump back into this. Devices. Race room is supposed to be 448 for this car. So I just got to type it in. There we go. That will fix my steering. Restart. Was it turn-in instability you were struggling with, PMR? In what regard, Matt? There we go. No, turning was actually really good. It was oversteer. Liftoff and snap oversteer is the problem with them. And I figured it out. It's their tires. Oh, Jesus. Whoa. Luckily, the AI here is slightly parked. So I've already been discussing with the devs the LMDHs after driving all the LMDHs. I sent them all my metrics, all that stuff. And they are behind the scenes working on changing the way the LMDHs drive based off of the feedback that I gave them. So we'll see when we get that, what that feels like. But they definitely have an oversteer issue. And it's related to tires. Whoa, hello. It's tire pressure, Matt. Purely tire pressure. Ignore the temperature, ignore the compound, ignore suspension, ignore everything. It is all tire pressure. And there is a tire bug in the game at the moment right now as well. I can show you that when I get to PMR. Alright, let's see if I can run this AI down. Because this is also adaptive AI. Oh, Jesus. I do think iRacing's AI is better, but the driving is so much worse that it's hard to even focus on what the AI is doing. They just adapt so much faster on the fly. Race Room takes a little bit of time to adapt. Perhaps the LMDH cars are not the ones I should do this test with. But I'm trying to sink some time into the LMDHs because, well, I want to get good with them. And they're definitely cars you got to pay more attention to. Full disclosure, I have no idea why I spun out right there. I was expecting to understeer myself straight into the dirt, and instead I spun. Yeah. Ugh. Another thing too, braking zones are not consistent among LMDHs in The Sims. It is a good looking game though, I'll say that. My only complaint about, and it's across all of Race Room, the driving, is that every car is plagued with understeer. Every single car has understeer. There's no variety to, like, what the problems are with the cars. They all rarely oversteer, and they all plow the front end. Like that. Come on. This car is more than capable of taking that angle. I'm not gonna lie, I really want to do the Spark Challenge, but I've already, like, picked what I was gonna do today. So I believe I'm on TC3 at the moment. So right in the middle. Yeah, like right now the AI, like what sucks about the adaptive AI in this is they're not adapting to me at all. They'll be slower in the next race or session, depending on what you're doing. Whereas iRacing's AI will adapt literally on the fly. So right now I'm just getting my butt kicked and there's not a whole lot I can do about it except hope to catch back up. Dude. Alright, I need to regroup. I am driving miserable today so far. All right. Debating if I should switch cars for this test because the LMDHs just require such a driving style to them. Maybe I should switch over to, say, GT3s because they are far easier to drive. But I want to drive these cars. That's the problem. Let's restart the session and see if it readapts the AI. Let's see if anything changed. Or maybe, like, see, this is the thing, though, because the way people judge. Maybe I should put ABS on, force the assist of ABS on, just for the sake of comparing the AI. Because, again, my goal here is to compare the AI, not just race, you know? So I think I might do that. Sue me. All right, let's just force AI on, or force ABS on. So now I can at least brake confidently and not worry about braking zones as much. We're off to a good start, boys. Oh, it's all right. You guys take your time. Take your time. Yeah, no, we're not in any kind of rush. It's not a race. It's not a race. It's just out leisurely drive. Okay, this is where Race Room's AI is fundamentally broken. Turn 1 of every race. Or maybe that's the AI adapting to my skill set. Oh, sure. Matt, I haven't done anything. All I've done is just jump in the car and drive it. So, that could very much be on my end with the battery. So AI is definitely not against hitting you in this. Good thing I don't care about hitting the AI, like as if they were people. Another thing too, I forgot. I always forget. I have to pull all of the line pressure out of these cars if there's no ABS on them, because they lock the tires up so easy in their default settings. So easy. And on a completely different note, what did everybody think of the Forza Horizon 6 reveal? Is it what we were expecting? Do people feel excited for it? Do people feel disappointed by it? It's always a challenge too jumping back and forth into different sims because they all drive so differently. Hey, 139.8. That's our fastest one that we've had in our testing. It's also with ABS on, so it's technically cheating. We were when we tested the other day, we went 140. I forgot what the decimal place numbers were. Force feedback is still, in my opinion, the best in this, at least for with these LMDHs. For some reason, a lot of the sims get LMDH feeling bad. I don't know why. Again, I don't know what they feel like, so I can't critique and be like, oh yeah, this is accurate or not. But they all feel really weird. Race Room really has the force feedback dialed in for these cars, in my opinion. That was a garbage line. Oh, 138.9. That's our fastest. That chicane right there in PMR, if you're running tires anywhere near default pressure, you will spin out every time. Literally every time. I think I have a better idea for this test. I'm going to do this race one more time. And we're going to start middle pack. All right. So let's do that one more time. We're going to shorten it down a couple laps. I want to see how I do middle pack. Let's see, where on here was that? Grid position 20. Here we go. Let's go grid position 10. We'll do 3 laps. And just see how the AI dances with us now that we're in the middle of the pack. How they attempt to... Because that right there, too, like... It's hard to see what the AI is going to do when you're sandwiched in between them. You know? That to me matters more than a lot of other things. So would you guys say that the challenge is worth... Like, here's the thing with PMR right now. I would love to be doing challenges and stuff like that. I just don't trust the server problems. So, like, I just don't want my time wasted, especially when I'm streaming. Because I really only... I shouldn't say I only sim when I'm streaming, but that's primarily when I'm in the sim, is when I'm on stream. So the last thing I want to do is keep wasting time waiting for servers and never getting into a race because they crash. So... Alright. Alright, race room, mid-pack, AI. Let's see how they handle it. Oh! That was aggressive, buddy. That's all me. God damn it. I really need to do this with slower cars. You really have to be zoned in to drive these LMDH cars. If you're not, you just, it's tough. Alright, let's see. Let's dance with these guys here. And now we're in last place, so that was pointless. All right, so ignore all that. Screw it. I want to try this with slower cars so I don't have to pay attention as much. That's the real question. Or should I just go try the Spark Challenge? I don't know where my head's at right now. That's the thing. I have to do so much driving. I want to drive LMDH cars, but at the same time, like, I don't know if I've got 4 hours of tryharding in me on a Friday. So, I don't know. I'm on the fence. Let me jump over there and see what's going on. All right, let's see. Oh, it's under. What is it? What's the actual challenge under? It's under challenges or not? Or is it ranked? All right, here. PMR, Spark, Daytona. Next race is in an hour and 10 minutes. Ugh. I'll be right back. All right. So, am I seeing this right that I can't get into this challenge for another... No, that can't be right. That can't be right. I think I'm just reading it wrong. Let's go Mustang. We know Mustang. Yeah, session begins in an hour. So we can't do this. All right, let's slow it back down. Let's go back over to race room. Yeah, I be honest with you, I don't really know either. That kind of makes me not even like if I have to wait an hour for a race, I'm just not gonna do it. I'm just gonna do something else. I don't have the kind of time to sit here and like. Now it'd be one thing if like you, I'm talking from a streaming standpoint, whereas like. What's the? Is it gonna be fun to sit here and watch me stare at a screen for an hour? You know? The answer is no. The answer is no. All right, so let's try this again. Let's go Nordschleife. See how this goes. This could be terrible. Absolutely terrible. Switch up cars. I don't know if my brain is in an LMDH headspace at the very moment. They're just difficult cars to drive. It's weird. They're easy cars to drive, but they're difficult cars to drive at the same time. Because if like right now, I'm in much more of a laid-back casual mood. I'm not in a try-hard mood. So that's not good for the LMDHs in trying to win races. Now, if I was doing solo laps and stuff like that, that's a different story. It's always easier to race yourself because your mood is your mood. It doesn't matter. But when you're going up against AI or other people, if your try-hard hat is on, oof. So worst case, I figure out how to do this test a little bit better, and then we come back to it. Worst case. All right. Oh, our wheels messed up again because I changed it. You know what I gotta do? I just gotta save. Can I get it? Oh, I got it manually. Look at that. Would you just look at it? You guys haven't driven the GTR in this class? Highly recommend. I'm convinced they've got some this is not the original engine. Let me see if I can. Ever heard a GTR sound like that? I think straight that sounds like a NASCAR. Whoa, bouncy. I know. This GTR is OP. I'll say that. The GT3 GTR is nothing like this car. Oh, Jesus. That's all you, buddy. Even though I hit you, you braked way too soon, so I blame you. Whoop. Understeer! Ah, every car in this game is just understeer city. It's my one real complaint about Race Room is that there's no real diversity to the way the cars drive. They just all sort of have a very similar driving pattern. They all understeer, they really don't oversteer. And like that, they have varying levels of grip and speed, obviously. But the first thing that always happens is you understeer. Always. Like, and with PMR and all of its problems at the moment, if there's one thing I can give to that game is they have captured a variety of different driving. No two classes of cars drive the same, which I like that. It's a variety game. It's a car guys game. They just have a lot of work to do everywhere else. That's, you know. But, you know, if you get away from the whole, oh, it's full release nonsense, because it's not. Let's just face it. At that point, you're just beating the dead horse of, oh, yeah, they said it. I don't care what they said. The game is early access. It's obvious. But, whereas these games are not early access, regardless of what they say. They've had so much time to cook in the oven, you know? I might do this test with the GT cars. I think I'm going to have to. For the sake of simplicity. Yeah, I think Race Room, AMS2, and PMR are my top threes. PMR obviously being currently the most problematic, but I'm giving it a little bit of leeway for the fact that it's obviously in heavy development still, and I do expect it to get a lot better. Now, if it does stay what it is right now, it will probably fall out of my top three. But I'm having a lot of fun with it. It's got a lot of what I like. So, clearly compared to the polish of AMS2 and Race Room, PMR's got a lot of work to do. But, you know, we're past the point of debating that, in my opinion. And in my opinion, we need to focus on, well, let's let PMR cook and stop judging it based off of their release, you know? All right, so we might come back to this one. I agree with you, Sim Racing 5843. I personally, without relying on this test, would say iRacing has the best AI. The problem is you got to be in the mood to iRace to really test that theory out. So for now, let's do this. Let's do this. We're going to probably come back to this because I want to do this with a GT3 car. But race etiquette. Does the AI just hit you? 10 being the best, 1 being the worst. We're going to go ahead and say 8. Difficulty. Now, I used adaptive AI. So I'm basing it off of adaptive AI. And I would say they leave very little room to make mistakes, even on adaptive. And they're harder if I set the max difficulty. If I turned adaptive off and just cranked the difficulty, they'd be even harder. So I'm gonna give them a 9 for now. Authentic feeling. Well, they pile up in turn 1 pretty hard, which is like real people. That feels authentic. Doesn't feel... But this authentic feeling right here, by the way, is not what you might experience in a lobby with a bunch of Nimrods. This is, does this feel like real race car drivers, real people driving real cars? It's getting pretty low on that one. It doesn't feel real. It feels like it's AI and it needs some programming, you know? Sadly, today, one YouTuber left PMR video. He went to LMU. I'm going to go ahead and say that was, who? I mean, they're not for nothing, but it's all video games. Like, no one has to play one game. I tell people all the time, if PMR is frustrating you, play something else and wait for an update and and then come back to it, you know? But, like, you don't have to play one game. I enjoy all these games. Some more than others, but I enjoy them all. And how do I keep PMR feeling fresh for me? I play something else and then come back. It also makes other games feel fresh when I get sick of them. Because every game, if you play it enough, no matter what it is, sim racing, single player, shooter game, it doesn't matter. If you play it enough, you'll eventually get to that point where it frustrates you more than makes you enjoy it. I understand what you're saying, sim racing, but I will just go back and adjust these numbers. I get what you're saying, but either way, I would have to adjust the numbers. So this is based off where I think they would land. Keep in mind, I've already played every one of these pretty thoroughly. I just haven't done it at the exact same time. Usually one day I'm doing this or one day I'm doing this. So I'm kind of factoring in a little bit of memory, even though that's why I said I'm going to come back to this, because I don't think that was a full-fledged AI test. This number here is based off memory, in my opinion. Same with etiquette. More so than what I just experienced right there. Let's see. have other business I'm doing, so my actual main job. That is definitely you, sir. That is definitely you. Names don't really bother me in AI. Have I set up adaptive AI in Race Room? Yes, that was what we just tested. We are gonna come back to it. Actually, you know what? No, we're already in here. We'll do one more race in Race Room, and then we'll adjust our numbers if we need to. We're gonna switch over to GT3. So in this particular game, where'd we go? What just happened? Oh, I hit go back. Do I not have... I'm so confused right now. Maybe it's a DTM variant? I could have swore I had the AMG in GT3. Almost positive. Oh, there it is. Why was this next button just not there? So weird. There we go. Ooh, that's new. I like that. They might have just got me. Did they just get me? 34 cents? You're goddamn right. They add more liveries? When did this happen? You sons of bitches. There's so many liveries. Holy moly. They all look kind of the same, though. They really only got me with the gray one right there. That murdered out gray look. I thought I had all the liveries. I mean, I did have all the liveries for this car. These must be new. Man, that's a good-looking car right there. But for the sake of this test, we'll buy stuff later. Let's test 5 laps on... This is one track I'm hoping gets modded into PMR. Watkins Glen is just one of my favorite short tracks ever. It's such a good track. Race Room has an insane amount of content. I have a lot of it. I have every track. I'm obviously missing cars. I'm missing a lot of liveries. Yeah, this is set to 5 laps. If it's the Nordschleife, I can do it in 1 lap. This should be set to 5 laps. I thought I set this to 5 laps just now. Maybe it didn't take. Maybe I didn't fully click. I guess we'll see. This should be 5 laps. This is what I thought I just picked. I don't know Road Atlanta as well, so I'd have to run the race line, if I'm being honest with you. Yeah, we're on 5 laps. 5 laps, middle of the pack. Let's see how the AI handles dancing around us. By the way, the AMG is my go-to race room GT3 car. It's just my driving style. You always got to find whichever one yours is in every sim, because they're not always the same. For example, the Mustang is my go-to in Project Motor Racing. Oof. Oversteer. Or sorry, understeer. The good thing is you can get the AI to back off. Like you can almost, it's like they're avoiding you crashing into them, which is good. People can complain, oh, the AI gives it up too easy. Yeah, because they know they're going to get wrecked if they don't. And that's a good thing, because that's what real people will do. Real people are going to avoid an accident like that. That's me. Real people will avoid an accident and take falling back a position, then try and take the position knowing a wreck is coming. Aw, man. Eagles, I'm leaving it up to you to figure out who we gotta talk to get some PMR liveries made. Since you're the local modder that I know, you have no choice. I will say the one thing Race Room does from a force feedback standpoint that no other sim does, that I feel like every sim now needs to do, because I said so, is putting the gear shift in the force feedback. That's so good. It makes me want to shift. Typical Porsche. Damn. Boy, he's driving. That's the adaptive AI doing adaptive things right there. They just started to motor away from me, and then out of nowhere just decided, I gotta hit the brakes. We adapted too aggressively. Like, see, like right there. Goodbye. Now, this AMG, by the way, is a default setup. There's no changes to it. Did the AI just flash me to get out of the way? Did I just witness that? Oh, you know what? That's also got to change. That's so one thing that is a bummer about Race Room is the steering ratios are never the same and they're never accurate. You have to manually set every car you're driving, or else it won't be right. Like right now, this car is turning harder than I want it to because it's more sensitive to it. It is what it is. Eagles, if you don't have Race Room, you should get Race Room. If you never want to like lock yourself to one game. Not that you are, but I'm saying I find a lot of people do that, especially people who are trying to stream. They just lock themselves into one game and frustrate themselves because they built somewhat of a community. But the reality is that you don't want to, like, not that you don't want the people, but what you want is people, especially from a streaming standpoint, to follow you, not the game. And it's a longer, harder drive. Oh, whoa, hey, oh, let's go. It's a longer haul to do that. So me, like, I'm going to play what I want to play. And that changes all the time. I get in my PMR, like, moods where that's all I want to play. I get in my race room moods where that's all I want to play. Same with AMS2. And those three are, like, the main ones. Other sims every once in a while I feel like playing, but they don't stick. Because AMS2, PMR, and race room all have certain aspects that I think the other sims can't do better. Unfortunately, I can't combine all three of those sims into one game because then I think it would actually be the perfect sim. But so be it. That's video games. And that's why we have a variety. Also, folks who are watching, if you don't mind, clicking the like button. Yep, gotta plug myself. Have to do it. And if you're not a subscriber and want to do that too, I won't complain. Yeah, that's right. I set the fastest lap, boys. What you know about that? Alright, I gotta take this 296 down. Race room is dialed. I am looking forward to hearing more from these teams about what's coming. Because as much like flack as PMR gets from like a lack of communication, which they are the most communicative group of developers that I've personally witnessed, I know I have a general idea of what's coming in PMR. I have no idea what's coming in AMS2 and Race Room. No idea. We might get some incredible new features, an incredible new career mode from AMS2, which is something that they've said in the past, but I've heard nothing, no hype, no nothing. And now there's obviously a certain balance to hype. You don't want to overhype and underdeliver. We all know what that looks like. But at the same time, no hype is, I could argue, is just as bad. Because what happens if the day comes and you deliver an incredible product for, say, a career mode, and you had zero hype in the background and no one even knows it exists? The amount of people that don't know Race Room and AMS2 exist is crazy. Let alone features independently in them. Oof. All right. So best lap 148.3. Not bad. Not bad. Also, finish and quit do the exact same thing in Race Room right there. If you click finish or quit, you go right back to this screen no matter what. All right, so let's see if that changes our score around at all. Before we do that, let's go into the store. I'm just curious if there's new things in the store that I didn't know about. Because they clearly added some liveries that weren't there. Let's confirm I have all tracks, because that's the number one thing. Yep, have all tracks. Let's go to cars. Actually, let's check packs first. The only car game I've played in the last 4 to 5 years is FH5, so proper racing is a whole new world for me. Gotcha, gotcha. So you are green, huh? I mean, not that I'm some experienced connoisseur of sim racing. I'm absolutely not. But, no, yeah, I've spent... If I had to pick a single racing game that I have the most amount of time into throughout the years, it would generally be Gran Turismo. But I knew that all of the better sims, I would never play without a wheel. Because what's the point? I know there's a lot of pad users out there that want experiences, but you do yourself a disservice. So did they update the GT3, the AMG? They must have. Because according to this, it says I don't even have it when I clearly have it. I just raced in it. Oh, this is the 2016. I think it's the newer one that I have. That's why. But why is it not showing up here? It should be grayed out. Oh, no, right here. Sorry. Here we go. Yeah, they added a bunch of new liveries. These liveries were not there. Not like this. Because I can tell you if that these liveries were here, I 100% would have had this one. This is the new hotness. I would literally... So, fun fact, guys. I want to do liveries. That I want to be my base color. With my logo on it. In very, very minimal branding. Simagic is an affiliate. We can toss some Simagic on there. I don't have any other affiliates right now, so that'd be my one sponsor on a car. But that would be like very, very similar to my base color. A very medium-ish shade of gray. God, that car, that I have to buy it. I have to at least put it in my cart. Because that looks phenomenal. Do I have enough money to buy it by myself, though? And by that, I mean already in my account. Or am I going to have to spend $5 to spend 34 cents? I have $0 in my wallet. Which means I have to add some funds. Whatever. Add $5. It is what it is. So be it. You got me. You got me with the basic color. You really did. You took away all of the decals. Gave me a fantastic gray color. And said, we gotcha. There you go. Spent $5 to spend 36 cents. But now I have it, at least I'm in my fund. There it is, boys. We officially got it. That color is nice. Because this is... The biggest reason I want it is this is my go-to GT3 car in Race Room. King Sniper, yes. Race Room is solid. Race Room is solid, for sure. And I just got the best new livery for my favorite GT3 car in this game. Fantastic. All right. Move on. Joe, the recording of the race. I think many people in the chat are having a blast here. What recording are you referring to? Let's do... Nope, nope, not safe, not safe, not safe. Just click over, discard. There we go. All right. I wish I could do liveries. I'm willing to pay someone to make me some... Well, I mean, I'm not willing. Yes, I'm willing. But that wasn't meant like, oh, I expect it for free. No, I don't expect liveries for free. Not one little bit. But I want some liveries. All right. So let's go back to our counter here. Race room. I'm going to bump that number. Go 6. That felt better that time. Felt less sloppy. GT3 seemed to be a little bit more dialed. So we'll start there. So race room, we'll go with race etiquette 8, meaning they don't hit you. I have been hit. Like I said, these numbers here are a little bit blended based off of my memory and a fresh take. So Be that also too, difficulty is 9 because the difficulty is not all the way up. It's on adaptive. So they technically will slow. They're a bit more. Adaptive is always the best. Here's the thing, folks. Adaptive takes the full range of the game's built-in difficulty and just, like, imagine a slider, a bar, and it's doing this based off how you're driving. They'll get harder to up to their max, or they'll slow all the way down to their slowest, depending on how you're driving, which is why it's the most gangster way of doing AI. Because no matter who you are, it's always going to feel like they're a challenge, unless you're so fast that their max scale isn't comparable to you, but I don't know of many of you that are, so. All right, I'm going to jump over to AMS2 now. Actually, I lied. I'm going to cancel that. Coming from Race Room to AMS2, for some reason, it's like one of the hardest things you can do. So we're going to go, let's see, we got Le Mans Ultimate. All right, of the choices, what do you guys want to see next? I'll hand it off to you guys. What do you think? While you guys decide, I'm going to use the bathroom. All right. LMU. We got 1 vote for LMU and only 1 vote, so we're going to go with LMU. Got more aluminum extrusion over here. These are actually longer than they were supposed to be, so that's cool. Whatever. I'll make it work. Nice. This is to mount my monitor to the rig a little bit more polished, like, oh boy, I just got metal everywhere. Oh, hold on, we're gonna get demonetized. Audio. Get me to the audio. Yeah, that's a good point, Eagles. That's a good point. Look at you being all smart. Music. If you have any kind of like cache clearing software that just deletes like cookies and stuff, for some reason, music in this game gets deleted and it resets. It's so aggravating. And I run those programs all the time because who wants viruses? I mean, Windows in itself is a virus, but that's another story. All right. I don't even know what my favorite GT3 is in this to drive because it all drives its own way. All right, so all tracks. What do we got for tracks? I know we don't have the Glen. Wish we did. Spa's always a solid one. There is Sebring. I feel like Sebring's going to test the AI the best because it's a sloppy track just because of the bumps alone. So let's do Sebring. Porsche is probably the best, huh? Let's go as close as possible to haze right there. So, all right, no hypercars. We want GT3s. Give us 18. We're going to pre-warm the tires because I'm just not dealing with that for this test. We're testing the AI, not the overall experience. So we're getting some tire warmers on. And I don't care. Judge me. Still have Rennsport leave the best ones to the end? Well, I mean, no disrespect to Rennsport, but LMU is better than Rennsport. Just in player numbers alone, it's statistically superior, you know? Like, there's your opinion, which is nothing wrong with that. That's subjective. But then there's just statistics, and there's just the math of things. And at the end of the day, according to the math, LMU is one of the best. Not my personal game, but you can't argue with the numbers, you know? Real quick. Settings, controls, car controls, camera, because I want to look left, look right. There we go. Also, for anybody who has missed it, next Wednesday to Wednesday, all I'll be playing on stream, at least during the day, is Rennsport. Because I will be in a creator race. I hate to even call it a creator race, but that's what it's called. It's not my word choice. But I will be...
Green flag, green flag.
I'm gonna let the AI... Oh, okay, bump me, why don't you? Luckily, it doesn't really... It can bump me very hard. Oh, Jesus. Use the Porsche, they said. It'll be fun, they said. That was the most effortless spin out I think I've ever seen. I'm blaming you for this one, Kai. You put me in a Porsche. Well, now I get to chase him down and see how they drive. Also, I don't know what I have the AI set to. I forgot to look. We're going to pick a different car. I don't trust you on this Porsche advice. I never use Porsches for what I just experienced right there. The only game I've played where the Porsche is like objectively the fastest car is Rennsport. Well, you already know that when there's a Ford, we got to use it. I want to say the AI was at like 80, if I remember correctly. AI aggression high. Oh, 85. So yeah, that was, if I remember, that was like a decent balance point before. All right, let's try that again. Like, for example, I have the Mustang in Rennsport, and I wish it was better than it was. The Porsche is just too fast. Like, it's too fast. So, unfortunately, I got to use the Porsche. All right, here we go. We're just gonna go max TC for now, too. Like, it's weird, too, with LMU. Their audio is very, like, strong, like their car sounds, but they're just not right. Like, this is not what a Mustang sounds like. Apparently my clutches aren't bound either on the wheel. Controls. Car controls. That's probably primary controls. Yeah, clutch. Secondary clutch. There we go. There we go. Now we got our clutch on the wheel. The problem with this, though, is that I don't think, unless I'm hearing wrong, it's going to be cross-play to PC. I think it's going to be Xbox to PS5 only cross-play, which is a massive miss if that's the case. All right. Because if LMU goes crossplay PC to console, I'll probably tough it out and start playing it more. But if they don't, it's just another missed feature. Because the game, I have no complaints about the way the game plays. Like when I play, like what I'm doing right now, I have a good time. As a good time as any other sim. It's the online play that I just don't care about in LMU. And that's what's popular. It's just not my thing. But there's nothing else to do besides what I'm doing and playing online in these few scenarios. It's the same complaints I have with Rennsport. They're like almost like to the T the exact same game, except that this has dove more into the endurance-y side of things, WEC and stuff, whereas Rennsport seems a bit more open-minded in its racing. Like it has the Nordschleife. Gave it up too soon, Junior. The Lexus in ACC might be the best sounding GT3 car I've ever heard in a video game. That's the car. That's the Lexus. The Lexus in this doesn't touch the ACC Lexus audio. But this is also not what a Mustang sounds like. And it annoys me. Like, it doesn't sound bad. I don't like dislike this audio, but this is not what this car sounds like. Not even close. It's almost like they have the same audio sound and they change the pitch of it for every car. And that's how they get their audio sounds in this. Oh boy. This Mustang is so much more stable than that Porsche. I hope that Porsche straight line's like a son of a bitch by comparison. Because, like, this car is 10 times easier to drive than that Porsche. And it's like that across all the sims. Why are the Porsches so hard to drive? This doesn't sound like a Coyote or even the flat plane. It sounds like nothing. It just doesn't sound like a Ford. I might slow down and let the AI catch back up, just for the sake of not doing solo laps for 10 minutes. Yeah, let's see if they hit me. All right, so we now know that the AI doesn't use its brakes if you put them in a situation where they have to brake. That's going to hurt them on their ranking. Because, fun fact, gotta give this to iRacing. iRacing would have never hit me right there. They'd have moved out of the way, they would have hit the brakes, they would have navigated, they would have done something. That guy just drove into the back of me like I wasn't there. Yes, I did brake aggressively, but we're also going into a turn as well. So he should naturally be slowing down. By he, I mean the AI. I'm assuming the AI's gender here. I wonder if AI has AI cancel culture too. Curious if I can make any ground up on them, because I fell pretty far back. It's weird to me how people compare the driving of LMU to iRacing in terms of, like, as if they're similar. They're not even close. This drives 10 times better than iRacing. And it's all because of iRacing's tires. I can't harp on that enough, how wrong the tire model is in iRacing. But we'll get in iRacing, don't worry. Thank you. Whoa, whoa, you just hit me again, you son of a bitch! No, Kai, if there's one thing I think is the absolute 10 out of 10 best in iRacing, it's their AI. The adaptive AI is so good in that game. That should be the poster child for all AI. They have that absolutely dialed in. Perfect, in my opinion. They drive like real race car drivers. They make the right judgment calls. They push when they should. They don't overtake you to avoid an accident. They're just good. So LMU's AI is a lot more like everybody else's AI, where the AI will just hit you. If you And by just hit you, I mean if you challenge the AI's decision-making in any way, it's not going to react or make a judgment call in time to not hit you. So those are two scenarios there where I was in the way of the AI's line, and they just drove through me. So, that's got to count for something. In a negative way, I mean. It's why I don't understand the hate for PMR's AI right now, because PMR's AI is like every other Sims AI. They're all problematic. iRacing's is the only one that's, like, in my opinion, in the lead by, like, a fair margin. And has anybody seen Rennsport's AI? Rennsport's a fun game to play with people, but you're going to see what the AI looks like. But yeah, I don't know how anybody can compare this driving. That was a terrible turn on my part. How anybody can compare this to iRacing and like compare the tire models or anything. Yeah, if iRacing, honestly, as much as the money thing is like egregious and ridiculous, you don't have to buy anything. They're not making you buy it. However, if you iRace or play iRacing, whichever way you want to say it, you're forced to use their shitty tire model. So if I had to pick one of the two things in iRacing being changed, the cost of buying the content or tires that make sense, I choose tires that make sense all day. Because the tires alone would make me spend more money. The biggest thing that stops me from buying iRacing content are the tires. I feel like I'm just wasting my time because everything else drives better to me. And it sucks because iRacing really is good at what, like, there's so much there. There's a lot of game, there's a lot of things to do. It's never gonna go away. And they're just forcing the shitty tire model down your throat. I don't get it. Because this, like, I'm sorry, LMU, by comparison, is effortless. This is so easy. So easy. And this is all authentic settings. The only thing I did in this, of course iRacing doesn't let you, is pre-warm the tires. So I don't have to worry about warming my tires up. But even still, in a GT3 car, half a lap to a full lap in, your tires are right where they would be anyway. So if you're going to make any mistakes through poor tire judgment, it's going to happen in the first lap. Alright, buddy, let's go. I know it's a Mustang, but you're driving a little too slow. Like, I'm not gonna lie, this feels really good to the point where I would love to get into LMU. It's just, there's nothing to do. Nothing that I want to do. I don't want to get online and race for a half hour by myself because the guys that are faster than me all drove off into the sunset and the guys that are slower than me crashed. So I'm just by myself on the grid. Like, it's not racing. It's not exciting to me. You know? That I don't have the answer to, Kai. Alright, so the final lap. So we are going to do this race again. We're going to max out the AI, difficulty-wise, and we're going to put me on pole, start of the race again. Like, this, see how I'm just driving by these guys right now? We're still in a race. Race hasn't ended yet. We're on the last lap, and I just drove around them like they were stopped. So we're going to max the AI out. I'm going to put myself in pole, and we're going to see if they can drive around me. Look at this. Look at this. This is not an adaptive AI, by the way. This is just what they run like at intermediate. 85%. In my opinion, that's easier than PMR. But I gotta give it a fair shake. I gotta crank it all the way up. Because we obviously know we can make the AI a lot easier than this. So we're gonna see how difficult we can make them as well. Oh, okay. Unless that was a... That might not have been a lap. That might have been a, what do you call it? Cooldown lap. That might that very much might have been a cooldown lap and why I was passing them like that. I thought that was the final lap, but that might have been the end. I wasn't paying too much attention. Not gonna lie. All right, let's do that one more time, and we're gonna just jack the AI up all the way to maximum, and then we're gonna put me in pole. I'm not gonna let them catch up, and we're gonna see what happens. All right, get me back in the Mustang. Yep, GT3 race. I'll do 5-minute length, just to shorten that up a little bit. Eyewear off, warmers on, fuel usage off. Obviously, these are things that you have to manage on your own. I'm not worried about that. As long as all the assists of the driving is off, that's all I care about right now. Oh, I didn't change the difficulty. Son of a biscuit eater. Go back. It didn't take you long to spend 50 euro in Race Room? Yeah, you're going to like Race Room. I'm debating if I want to do Race Room tonight or AMS2 instead of PMR. Like, it's one of those things where, like, I think in a polished state where things are in much better conditions, PMR is probably going to be the most fun game to do the open lobby stuff with, but it's fighting the problems that makes it tough, you know? In Race Room, there's a lot of fun to be had in multiplayer. LMU could be solid if they would give me the ability to host, and not without buying this Race Control Pro subscription and then renting servers. I'm good. I'm not doing that. Sorry. That model right there tells me there's a good chance that we're not going to get... All right, here we go. Max these bad Larrys out. 105, professional. And we're going to put me in pole. Let's see if they kick my ass. Come back to that. Oh. Yeah, I don't like subscription models. I just don't. I want to know that when I like walk away from the game in 5 years, I can come back and just play my video game again. I don't like the whole you don't own anything. I hate subscription models. They're doing it with everything, and I think it's the end of the world from a technology standpoint. It's the start of Ready Player One. You don't own anything. You're just paying to live in a world that isn't real. It's why PMR, I think, has a massive future. It's why AMS2 has a massive future. Peer-to-peer. You own the game. Everything in that game is offline. And it's peer-to-peer, so you don't rely on them. However, PMR is still problematic currently. That needs time to polish, so... But in time... Yeah.
Green flag, green flag.
Alright, come and get me! Let's go, professionals. Oh, Jesus! So they're just they're just pushing me off the road. That's not all right. I honestly don't need to see any more than that. You've shown me what I need to see. They're built like tanks, and they will just push you off the road. They will take lines that are not ready to be taken, and they will just say goodbye. So I don't need to see anything else. I saw what I saw there. The AI was a lot more enjoyable when they were slower, because it looks like their aggression was toned down too. Like, they just took lines and pushed you off the road. Yeah, that was rough. So that unfortunately, that little experience definitely hurt the experience overall. So let's see. Race etiquette. How do we want to judge them? Do we want to judge them at their 85% intermediate setting? Or... Because according to the game, that was them as they were professionals right there. I can tell you one thing. If that was what professionalism is like, then that's what that felt like. That was rough. That was rough. Their AI was definitely overall far worse than Race Room's. So these numbers are much higher. All of them. I mean, it depends on if you're ranking the difficulty on what we just experienced. Because I can guarantee you, if the AI is just going to ram you off the road and be light speed fast, and the difficulty is 10, you can't beat that. I didn't even get a chance to do any racing right there. I took 2 or 3 turns, and I was every turn I was pushed off the road, except the first one. Actually, no, the first one I was pushed off the road too. I don't even know how to judge that. I really feel like you should judge it based off of the maximum, right? No? Unless you have adaptive AI, you would want to judge the AI based off the maximum. What I just found there was this. This was my experience. This is a bit of a knee-jerk reaction, but this was my experience in what you just saw. They just plowed you off the road at every turn. They didn't yield to... Like, if there's a slower driver in front of you guys, seriously, what is the proper race etiquette? Take the line at all costs and crash them? Or maybe wait for an opportunity to not put someone in the wall? That's where the race etiquette and the authentic feelings get dropped down to 1. If they were just super fast, but drove around you, I could change this score. But in 3 turns, all 3 turns, they just pushed me off the road. They hit me at every turn. Does not feel real. There is 0 etiquette. And 1 is, I would give it a 0, but the numbers are 1 to 10. So that's where I'm going to leave that for now. Other games might change that around, but for now, LMU's driving experience is great, but their AI is terrible. So from a training standpoint, you could maybe use them a little bit, but I don't know what that AI is built around, but it's not racing. Twisted Metal. So with LMU done, let's see. What is next on the chopping block? Let's jump into Rennsport. Get Rennsport over with. Rennsport's going to be a... So, Rennsport, guys, I know what I'm getting into right now. Rennsport's going to be a nice comedy show. I think you'll enjoy what the AI looks like. Ugh. Another cache clearing nonsense here. All right. Single player. Quick session. We're going with the Porsche. I could do multi-class for the sake of really, really making it funny, but... Which Porsche was it again? I don't think it was the 2026 model that I liked. I think I liked the 2022 better. I don't know. All right. Select track. Do Spa. Session settings. Let's get the drivers on the track. Keep it just GT3 for simplicity standpoint. All right, let's get it. Alrighty, here we go. Okay, up, okay. Yep, you're gonna continue to... I'm just pinned. Yep, keep hitting me. Yeah, all right, none of you guys move. It's fine. We're not in a race. Oh, wait, oh, I don't even care about cutting the track right now. Catch me back up to that AI. Let's just see what happens when I do this. You do what you gotta do to catch the AI, right? I guess that's my fault. Oh my god, I can't even get in the gear! Alright, we're just starting this over, and we're going to try and avoid the pile up in the beginning to set us back, so we can actually try driving normal. Getting the idea where the AI is? Alright. I gotta get to the outside, somehow. I gotta get out of this little inside pile-up corner where I'm stuck. Really? Alright. That was the cleanest first turn I've ever seen in Rennsport, so... I don't even know what to say to that one. Oh. That guy just flipped over for no reason. I'm convinced they coded in some Burnout Paradise. They had to have. Why'd I have to give up position? I did nothing. Alright, overtake, boys. Gently. What do you... What is happening? I'm telling you, though, you have to appreciate it for what it is, though, because it's comedy gold. You just... I laugh so, like... I can't help but laugh at what the AI does in this game. Why is this guy like, you know, like, what? Come on, buddy. I'm sure they're going to crash themselves soon, so it really doesn't matter. But this BMW next to me was like juking me. He's like, yeah, I'm going to go. No, I only stream to YouTube. I'll never stream to Twitch. And I just don't stream to anything else. I'll never stream to TikTok. I'm good. YouTube's my jam. I don't feel like monitoring growth and all that stuff on other YouTube is it for me. I spend countless hours myself on YouTube. I don't spend a single fraction of a second on Twitch or TikTok or any of those. I'll never will. I just don't care about them. They're after my time, is what I'll say. I've been on YouTube for... I've had an account on YouTube for a good, Jesus, at least 15 years. All right, okay. Thanks for the pit maneuver, buddy. I appreciate that one. Can't believe I made it through those two guys without getting hit. I gotta crank up. That's one thing that's annoying too, is that the GT3 cars and the hypercars have wildly different force feedback in this game. And the last thing I did was drive hypercars, so I had to turn down the force feedback quite a bit, and now my steering is way too loose. This feels like probably 4 or 5 Newton meters right now at most. There's just not enough there. If nothing else, though, Rennsport is a very stable game. I'll give it that. I don't think I've ever had Rennsport crash a single time, ever. But you're going to see me playing a lot of this in the next week and into the early next week. Because like I said, I'm part of the Creator Series, so for a week straight, I'll have a dedicated race. It'll be cycling Daytona, Monza, and the Nordschleife. So, yeah. If you want to be in it, you are more than welcome. And I do believe, for me anyway, the classes will be hypercars. So it'll be hypercar racing, not GT3 racing. So it's going to get even more interesting. Monday's stream is probably going to be me practicing for it in hypercars in Rennsport. I just don't know if I'm going to be able to use the AI for any level of training. No, Rennsport. They asked me if I wanted to be in it. I said, why not? It's one of those help me, help you things, so whatever. I'll do what I gotta do. I would rather help the smaller games than be part of the bigger games. Like, iRacing doesn't need me. They never will. They have a boatload of massive creators, massive YouTubers, whatever you want to call them, that play those games. Little guys like me, they don't need me. But PMR, Rennsport, they can benefit from the little guys, since the big guys seem to want to drag them through the mud pretty bad. Unwarranted, but whatever. That's besides the point. They're not without their problems, but they're still video games and they are still fun. Like the AI, like, look at that. Look at that bulletproof AI. The good thing I can say about playing Rennsport online, other people don't respond like that. If I crash someone else intentionally, not that you should or would, but they would also get pitted. That guy just bounced off him like he was a tank. All right, you get the idea. You get the idea. I recommend getting every game, in my opinion. Having a variety of things to play really is a good thing, you know? Rennsport, though, in my opinion, is in a very PMR state, but for different things. Are the cars in Rennsport better than PMR? They're just GT3s and hypercars. That's the only two cars you have in Rennsport. Rennsport is very much like the best way I can explain it is Rennsport is junior varsity LMU. Same game, except it's not WEC. And it's obviously not nearly as polished, but it hasn't been out nearly as long, so. All right, so let's get the AI calculator out here. Let's get over to Rennsport. Race etiquette. Yeah. Yep. Well, if this is online, this feels pretty authentic, but that's what we got to go with. That's the unfortunate side of it. I knew that they were going to be the absolute worst AI. Like I said, I've already got a good grasp on a lot of these numbers. Although, admittedly, the 100% professional one in LMU surprised me a bit because I don't really play up there. I stick to like 85, 90, and they play a lot better at 85, 90. 105, I don't know what that was, but... So anyway, we have iRacing, PMR, and AMS2. So let's jump into AMS2. What was the filter again to only show the ones that I own? I forgot. There we go. There we go. You can tell what I have 160 games. And I've only have 10 games installed. They're all racing games. Yeah, Eagles, my best advice for Race Room is solely stick to the bundles first. Packs, the big bundles, the ones that they advertise for heavy discounts, stick to that stuff first. Stay out of the individual cars menu. You'll spend an insane amount of money for virtually no content. Buy the packs. And then once you've cleared out all the packs, start buying individual tracks. In fact, you might even consider buying individual tracks in general because tracks are tracks. They're the most important thing. Because you only need one class of every kind of car to have access from a racing standpoint. No, I don't know where you got PMR as arcade and Rennsport as a sim. I think Rennsport's far more of an arcade game than PMR is. That, like, also, too, that arcade simcade conversation is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my life because they're all pixels on a screen, they're all video games, and none of them are real. None of them feel real. None of them... The best thing you can do is certain aspects capture some reality. But they're video games, guys. You can call it an arcade game. You can call it a simulator game. You can call it a simulator. You can call it a simcade game. At the end of the day, I call them video games. Hey, iRacers. iRacing is a video game. I just pissed off at least 50% of the iRacing community. If they ever see that, of course. Not a lot of iRacers watch me. iRacers have a really good tendency of subscribing and then unsubscribing because they don't like what I say about it. Admittedly, I like the McLaren and this one the best. Here's where AMS2 shines. Oh! Raxo91, thank you for the sub. If you're an iRacer, I expect you to unsub relatively soon. Or maybe you're one of the normal guys that plays iRacing that doesn't mind criticism. Thank you for the sub, though. And if anybody else is new around here and wants to sub, I accept subnations. That was a really weird word. Subs and donations. Okay, so let's see. What was the track I want? Oh, yeah, that's right. If every game needs Watkins Glen, in my opinion. Watkins Glen is such a good track. If you want a sprint track, we can run 5 laps and some great driving. It captures all the things in a short amount of track. So we're going to go 80% here. Max aggression, max mistakes. I'm going to start back of the grid. Because mistakes make the game feel real. Or the AI, anyway, feel real. No human doesn't make mistakes. So if you turn off mistakes, they're robots. The entire game is algorithm. So when the AI makes a mistake, the game makes them make a mistake. It's not like, oh, you outsmarted the game. No, you didn't. You didn't do it. By design. Calm down. All right, here we go. AMS2. Slide cancel simulator. AMS2, though, does... There's a certain thing about AMS2 that's just a refreshing, sort of problemless experience. But, like, the thing is that there's a lot of bugs happening in PMR right now that have happened in AMS2. That if you compare directly to AMS2 right now, it's like, oh god, AMS2 is way better. Well, yeah, because it had the same growing pains and they got worked out of it. You have to give PMR that time, or what are we doing, you know? Oh, that's me. My bad. My bad, AI brethren. Eagles, do you have AMS2 as well? I assume you do. It's pretty obvious that when you have a slight grasp on the track, like I do, and you're okay at getting the car around the track, 80% or 85, is it 80 or 85 I have it at? I don't remember, is just clearly not enough. I drove around them, look, it's the start of lap, or halfway through lap 2, I'm in first place. I just drove through 19 cars. Only one small contact point, and that was my fault. Whoa. Okay. So we don't need to finish this race because it's going to be, you know, solo lap simulator. So we're going to bump the AI up. You don't have AMS2? God. Man. All right, so that's 80. Minimum is 70. They're only going to get slower. Let's go 100%. So 100% is the original sort of like, that is max difficulty. And then they did this for the sake of punishment. 120 is insane in this game. But you know what? Let's go 120 because I want to show mins and min-maxes. Even though I didn't go 80 wasn't minimum. Obviously, 70 is going to be easier. So let's just go right to the cream of the crop. Let's see if we can pass a single AI. Spoiler alert, we're not. We're not going to catch any AI unless we crash them. All right, here we go. This is max AI now, AMS2. Interesting. I was not expecting that. One feature AMS2 has that I love is the spotter style, like rally style spotter. It's a little indicator. Oh, Jesus. The little indicator that appears right there. I love that. And I've only seen it in AMS2 so far. Okay, all right. Just push me off the track now, buddy. Oh, you're going to hit me too, huh? Right back in 20th. Well, that I don't know why that happened. Well, now we're not going to get to see the AI, so restart session. I'd like to at least go a couple laps per game. My guess is this is just because of traffic that they're so slow right here. So remember, this is max AI on all fronts. Maximum aggression, maximum skill, most amount of mistakes. That's me. If AMS2 would make their cars drive without sliding, I don't know if there would be a better sim right now. But every sim has their hitch, and AMS2 is just slidey, slidey, slidey. Of AMS2, of PMR, and of Race Room, this driving is the worst of the three. Their slide style just you have to learn to drive it. You can't drive other sims around this one because you just slide and you don't know when it's like an animated slide or when you're actually losing your grip and spinning out. All right, so I don't want to spend too much time in AMS2 because it's slide simulator. So let's do this. Let's rank it. All right, so race etiquette. Whatever that was. And that's mostly because they have sliders that allow you to do a lot of customization in the AI. So, case in point, AI mistakes. You can make them make less mistakes. You make it so they don't ever make a mistake. Ever. They're perfect. I had them on max. AI aggression. Wet skill scaler. And then their overall skill. It's hard to argue with that, all that adjustment in AI. But this game is the only one that does it. If this had adaptive AI with things like that, man, that would be legit. All right, so that leaves iRacing and Project Motor Racing. This is what I think of iRacing, by the way. Just because it feels ridiculous. This feels like racing. iRacing, I think, has the best AI, period. And I honestly don't feel like playing iRacing right now, so I might just not, and just take my word for it that the AI is better than the rest of them. But worst case scenario, I'll show you what I think is the best AI. Bathroom time. Also, chat, if you don't mind, for those of you who come around at nighttime and actually play multiplayer, open lobbies with us, what do you want to do tonight? You want to do PMR? Do you want to do AMS2? Or do you want to do Race Room? By the way, do you guys notice anything about my home screen here? So, one of the devs modded something for me based off of my preference. It's purely imagery and nothing else. Do we notice what's going on in this? You are correct, King Sniper. For example, driver profile, edit info. Where's my guy? He gone. Yes, exactly. You want to know why? This is a brief conversation that annoyed me about Forza Horizon 6 yesterday. Forza Horizon is doing a lot of the inclusivity type stuff, which is fine, whatever. But when a game is built around racing and you focus on the identity of the player, I'm sorry, you're missing the mark. People want to race cars. I don't need to pretend that the person in the game is me. I want to pretend the car that I'm driving is my car. Give me all of the customization and all of the buildability of the car. Leave the person out of it. I don't care. Most people don't care. You are when you have a player identity and you start talking about player pronouns and their gender and their race and all this stuff. That's not a car game. That's another identity game with identity politics that I don't care about. It just tells me that your focus, you're shifting where you should have your focus on the game to other things, to please a very, very, very small amount of people that care about that. If you build a game that pleases everybody, you will build a game that pleases nobody. So, in that topic of discussion, I don't even have a player character in my screen anymore, and that's the way I want it. All I care about in my racing games are my racing cars. We need to get some Nordschleife in here. So we're going to do... Here's how we're going to do this. PMR. I'm the same way. I don't want the player... I do have it in here right now for the sake of comparison stuff. But typically, I turn the wheels off in all my sims. So there's no hands, there's no wheels, there's nothing. My wheel is this. The winter. 19-car grid. AI at the weakest they can be. We're not doing 5 laps. We're going to do 1. Let's test the AI out on dumb. Tires pre-warm on. Damage off. Race. Exactly, Eagles. Well, my honest opinion about the showcase is I hated the showcase, the event. It was so... What am I watching right now? However, the trailers that came out after the showcase were really all I cared about. So... The showcase really, really brought down my mood for the hype of Forza Horizon 6. But then the trailers after the fact brought it back up a little bit. But the problem with Forza Horizon 6 is it really, really resembled Forza Horizon 5, and it kind of looked like a skin pack. Where it's the same game, but it's a DLC. It looked boring to you? Honestly, the only reason and I will be playing it, but the only reason I wanted to play it is the drift. Is drifting. I wanted to do some drifting. I don't care about the bumper-to-bumper style of racing, you know? Also, guys, I want to show you something. I'll show you that after this comparison. By the way, the devs are aware of this, but I did show it to them again, and I also pointed out some other things, so... Yeah. Anyway. Could be really good or really bad. You're not kidding. No, I will say I was far more hyped for Forza Horizon 6. Yeah, these hands are huge. Look at that. Look how big that is. I gotta make that go away. There we go. That's my bad. I gotta do something quick. I forgot. TC1 on this car is not what you want. And that's what I had it on by default, and it just spun me out. All right, so vehicle setup. Tire and chassis. This is what I want. Let's go 4. 6 is a bit too much. 1 is not enough. It's so weird how there are cars in this game that that don't have TC that seem to have far better traction than the GT3 cars at like low TC. GT3 cars in this game have a very, very small amount of grip, all things considered. But still fun to drive, so not a big deal. Now, if you didn't have TC, they would probably suck. But remember, this is the AI at their worst. And we're going to do the same race again with the AI at their best. See how it changes things. Oh, come on. In my opinion, the Nordschleife is the best track to use to test the AI out, because it's just such a challenging track. But we don't have Watkins Glen in this, so Nordschleife is what we want to do. And one thing I will say, slow AI and PMR is very challenging because they're sloppy. They're very sloppy. It's like, imagine all of these sliders that are in AMS2, different, mistakes, all that stuff, is put into just the one slider in this. It all scales into one slider. So they get worse at everything based off that number. Yeah, I asked Pedro earlier. I said, what do you guys want to play tonight? Race Room, PMR, or AMS2? Those are my 3 most enjoyable games to stream, to do open lobbies with. I could slightly use a break from PMR from doing open lobbies, just because of unfortunate problematicness of the interconnect with dropouts and stuff like that. But I'm down for whatever. I have fun. When PMR works, I have a blast with it. So I just worry that I'll be stuck in the loop of trying to get lobbies going and lose all momentum. And then we're right back to where we started with, And I could use a fresh race room experience, Oh, no! Looking at chat. Bad driver syndrome. I like that you can do that now. Hence the short I put up today, if anybody saw it. You can crash the AI now. That was part of this patch. Wow, that was brave, buddy. It's also cutting the track, but sure. I had to make sure my throttle's down again. I feel like I don't have all the horsepower I should have. Backstretch will tell me. If this car doesn't get to like 165 or so, we got a problem. Fue, what are you in the mood for? Race room or PMR? Or AMS2? No, we're hitting 100%. So I just suck. I can normally catch all the AI in one lap on their lowest setting. It could be because of the tire pressure too. Notice my tire pressure, guys. 23 to 24 psi, all four tires. I want to show you some. This is a bug, by the way. This is the bug I was talking about. All right. Finished weekend. We're going to restart the session with the AI at maximum. Okay. Same thing. Just go right back into the race. That was minimum, Josh. We're going to be maximum now. It's not a softs thing. This is not a tire compound thing. This is a tire pressure bug. And there is massive performance differences with tire pressure. So, right. It was just at 23 to 24 pounds, right? We're not changing anything. We're just getting in the car. Tire pressure's higher. Let's, restart. Right? Click the same thing. Tire pressure. We're at 35 pounds now. Three different races. No changes. 3 different tire pressures. Watch how much, now that the car's at 35 pounds, watch how much faster this car accelerates. It's going to be harder because the AI is cranked up, but just in general, the car. This will be easier to show you the tire bug when I'm not racing AI. My car, by the way, though, it's literally I'm going to act like it's got 100 more horsepower because of the tire pressure. I have 10 pounds of more tire pressure than I did last race. I'm already going faster right now, mile per hour wise, than I was in the backstretch of the last race. And when I said I can normally pass the AI at 20%, at the minimum 20, it's because my tires are like this. The car is literally faster, with no real grip penalty. I want to show you how, on an LMDH car, how the tires affect its acceleration and its grip. You can effectively fix all of the LMDH problems by running low tire pressure. But the problem with the tire pressure is, unless you know how to manipulate it, it's going to be like randomized. I just entered this lobby 3 times with 3 different tire pressures. And I didn't change my tire pressure. That's why this race looks the same. Look how I'm just able to go around him. That's all tire pressure right there. If I was at 22 pounds, I would have done nothing right there. If I was on Daytona, I would run my tires at maximum tire pressure. You'll go 10, 15 miles an hour faster. It'll look like you're in a different class of car. And I didn't notice this tire pressure bug until the other day. Until I finally decided to start playing with tire pressures, and I noticed that it was like random. This AI is objectively harder than it was before, but it looks the same because of how much faster I am able to go. I shouldn't say the AI looks exactly the same, but the gap didn't grow much because of the tires. Oh, Jesus! Now that was he's still flipping around. Whoa, what the hell? The AI in the game just had an algorithm fart. Telling you, hive mind. The main mind in charge just sneezed. That's likely bug related. That didn't feel like intentional crashing. Maybe the other Mustang did, but the second one, it just, I don't know. It didn't feel natural, you know? Now, let me ask you a question. If you were driving an LMDH car, or any car for that matter, would you think you would have more grip at 28 pounds on soft tires or 22 pounds in medium tires? What do you think is going to have more grip? Because I know which one it is, and it's not even close. Notice our mile an hour? Actually, it looks like it might even be about the same right now. Not gonna lie. It's not too different. But my tires have gotten colder this whole time. Mind you, it is winter. Ambient temp is 46°. Or 46 degrees Fahrenheit, sorry. Alright, so that's our AI. So let's rank the AI, and then I'll play around with the tires a little bit, and then I'm going to get off. I got some stuff I got to do, so I'm not going to go all the way out to 3. So, race etiquette. Alright, let's now that we have the numbers for everything, iRacing being the best, racing etiquette means they don't try and hit you to overtake you. The overtakes feel clean. So race room's an 8. Race edit. It feels, I will say this, AMS2s and PMRs feels very much the same to me. And I play them both a lot. They're what I have the most amount of hours in. I'm going to say race etiquette's about the same. Difficulty? Seven. That was max settings, and I was able to drive around them. If I had another lap or two, I could probably won the race. Authentic. Say about the same as race rooms. Authentic. Authentic is just more of how everything feels altogether. Meaning, not how fast they are, not necessarily overtake, but they're just their general driving mannerisms. How polished does the driving mannerisms feel? iRacing, it feels like all of them are in full control the whole time. They've got it. They're not going to hit you. You're not going to hit them. I mean, you might be able to hit them, obviously, but I'm saying, like, they'll do their best to avoid you. Race Room and PMR, feel very similar from bugs, general driving lines, the way they can be erratic at times, but that erratic could be passed off as like decision making on the fly. They feel very similar. PMR's difficulty is definitely easier, I would say now, but the thing is that if you don't know the track, they will drive away from you. I know the track fairly well and Nordschleife, so I'm able to catch them and pass them. Soft should have better turns, but medium would give you more top end. So I can tell you that the tire pressure, yes, same tire pressure, you would be correct. Lower tire pressure dominates the decision-making of what's going to happen with the car. 21 pounds to 22 pounds in the rear in all tires on mediums gives you way more grip than softs at 28 pounds and gives you way less top end than softs at 28 pounds. It's a lot easier to show you on an LMDH car. So, all right, real quick though, let's just summarize. The best AI ranking. iRacing is number 1. We got to tally up the total points. So 16, 22 points for race room. AMS2's got more points. And let me just think in my head. Yep. I agree. The race room is number 2. AMS2 is number 2. Race room then is number 3. PMR is number 4. LMU, 5. And then Rennsport is 6. Rennsport got all ones because their AI just doesn't work. It's comedy. It's funny to watch, but it's subjectively just... It's a good thing the game is like fun to play online because that's what they're going for, obviously. The AI is clearly an afterthought. And then this AI, when you crank them up to maximum, to professional level, they're insanely fast and they will drive literally, they will crash you to pass you. They don't give a shit. That's our rankings there. iRacing's the best, then AMS2, then Race Room, then PMR, then LMU, then Rennsport. That's our overall. And we'll save that. We'll update that for later. Now let's get into these tires. Get in my favorite one, the Cadillac. Now, let's see. All right. Yeah, it's really easy. It's under cockpit settings or whatever the words are called. I'll show you in a sec. I forgot to take the AI out. Son of a bitch. Ugh. All right. Try that again. So you're down here, vehicle setup. Oh, sorry, cockpit setup. You can do it right off the main screen here. Cockpit setup. Click that. Seat position. Click that right here. Steering wheel. On, off. On, off. Admittedly, I like it on for these cars. But, yes. All right, so Let's get in the car. First, I want to show you our default settings here. All right, see? Mediums, 18.9 pounds. I'm going to hammer this home right now. 18.9 pounds, all 4 tires. Okay, let's get in the car. Drive. Our tires are at 29 pounds. Okay, well, maybe the number's not 1 for 1. Let's go back to the pit. Vehicle setup. All right, so let's go back. Let's get in the car again. Drive. 29 pounds. Okay, we're the same. Not a problem. I think we return to pit. Get back in the car. 30 pounds. Whatever, it's within a pound. Return to pit. Vehicle setup. Tires and chassis. Let's bump the numbers up and then bump them back down. Same number. We have the same number. Back. Back. I guarantee you right now the tires are at 21 to 22 pounds. 22 pounds, all 4 corners. Return to pit. Get back in the car. We're back up to 30 pounds. If you're not paying attention to your tire pressure when playing this game, especially in cars that want to crash, like I said, the devs already know about this. This hopefully will be fixed in the next patch. But I want to show you what tire pressure actually looks like in this game. So, what it resets to, this 29 pounds on mediums. Let's just take the car for a rip. Pay attention to our mile an hour as well. Brake at 150. Make the turn. We actually pulled that turn off. Look at that. That's actually surprising. Third. I think I have this car set up. I should be spinning out right there. Anyway, pay attention to mile an hour. If I have this car set up, then that's what's changing things. All right. We would have hit 180 if I was paying more attention. All right, there's the spin out, right? Now, let's go back to pit. I also want to, I might do that again if I'm not on a stock car here. Let's see. No, I wasn't on a stock car. All right, so load setup, default. All right, so let's go back. Minimum tires. Back, drive. That's going to put us low. Now let's get back. Let's get out of the car. Return to pit. Then drive. Now we're back up to 30 pounds. Now this is a genuine stock car now in this game, because I have a lot of other things changing this car to get the car to be less oversteery. But I'm trying to show you the point of the tires. So now we're back on the tires here. Now liftoff oversteer is gonna rear its head back out again. Maybe it won't. Maybe I've just gotten used to driving around it. But there is a substantial difference in your driving ability, how aggressive you can get. All right, so like right there. See right there? That's what do we know these cars are known for? Liftoff and that snap oversteer. Or snap oversteer. Or that time I was on the throttle when it happened, and it wasn't like spinning through it. It just once the ass starts to come out, it just comes out. Now watch the back marker mile an hour. And that was from spinning out, so we're actually down on mile an hour coming out of that turn. $180. And spin out again. All right. Now let's go to the pit. Vehicle setup. Cycle the tire pressure. Up and down again. Get back in the car. Our tire pressure is down to 21 pounds. Let's go for a rip. Nothing else has changed in this car. This car is all stock. Just the tire pressure bug. Also, front tires work a lot better, too. Braking is like twice as fast. Same braking zone, 150. Second. 150 is actually braking too soon now with these tires. Ignore all the other things, Pedro. I'm focusing on the tires right now. The tires are the problem. All of the other suspension stuff is very, very small, tiny changes that help a little bit. At the end of the day, the problem with these cars is the tires. How they're programmed in. Now watch my back marker mile an hour. I'm going to go 8 lots. I did 180. And I couldn't, that was 180 coming out of that turn. So 174. And that's just braking way too late. But the point of the matter is, by just changing the tire pressures, lowering them, this car has an insane amount more grip. The reality is, this car needs to have the way this car drives at low grip, at low tire pressure, is how this car should drive at high tire pressure. So let's load my setup up and watch how easy this car is to drive. Turn to pit. Vehicle setup. Let's see. Nope, no, don't save. Load setup, EJR. So that makes it so that... Oh, my tires are not changed, though. It didn't even load my setup. There we go. Now it loaded it. All right, so... all the setup is max rear wing. I took some EQ out of it so that the oscillation isn't so bad. These are what Pedro recommended the other day, which does seem like it helps a little bit, but it's not the problem with this car. This is a tiny little Band-Aid on a gunshot wound. But either way, it helps, so that's fine. And then we are on mediums. If I put these tires to soft, I get no extra grip, and my tires overheat. So let's cycle the tires. So we get the tires back down to being low again. We're back down where we want to be, that 21 to 22 pounds. And then let's just go for a drive. This car's going to be easy to drive. Like, very easy to drive. It is going to be slower because the tire pressure is low in terms of, like, its overall acceleration. And that's where the grip levels have to be tweaked so that the car has this level of grip at, like, 28 to 30 pounds. Not down here with, like, flat tires. Brake after the 150. Still too early. All of the extra front tire grip allows us to brake a lot faster. I'm not trying to drive this car, by the way. Brake after 150. Way too early again. Let's brake at 100. Car is just so easy to drive. So easy to drive. But it's also down on acceleration because of the tires. Brake at 150. Brake at 120. Probably a little too late, but I also should have been in second gear. But that's fine. And that tire bug where the tire pressure shifts, that's all cars. That's not LMDH. It just so happens that the LMDH doesn't have the right grip, so the tire pressure actually shows its cards. Don't worry, I have a good vibe about the next patch in these cars. I could be wrong. Could be wrong. Might be 2 patches, but you know, I got vibes. Got some vibes. So let's go back to the pits. And we're just going to get back in the car. We're changing nothing. We're changing nothing. Our tires are just at 22 pounds. We're just going to get back in the car. Our tires are back at 29 pounds. We didn't do anything. We just got back in the car. Now, same setup as before. Max rear downforce, all the diff stuff, everything's done. We just raise the tire pressure. Let's see how our braking is compared to. All right, let's brake at 150. 150 wasn't enough, and we spun trying to make the turn. 150 when we were at 22 pounds was way too early. That's how much the front tire grip is affected by the tire pressure. I'm glad someone else has found it, Jim, because the amount of people that don't know about this is crazy. Like, there are people setting up cars that don't know. I don't understand it. I played with tires for a half hour and found the problem. Like, it's insane how much less grip you have with the tires. Merely 6 pounds more inflated. I keep looking at... That's my fault for looking at the speedo. I just didn't brake at all. I'm losing temperature because the ambient... The ground is freezing. I'm not worried about the temperature loss. The ambient right now, I believe, is 46 or something like that. Sorry, 38. Track temp's 40 degrees. So think about it like this. If my tires are 200 degrees out of the pits from warmers, and then I put them, they're rolling on something that's 40 degrees. Now, I know friction creates heat, but I can assure you the ground is going to cool the tires down, especially in a straight line. The front tires are doing nothing in a straight line, except they're along for the ride. So, for the sake of showing you the tire difference, softs will overheat in a short amount of time. The meta right now, I'm telling you this right now, from like, now maybe on like Daytona or something where you need the mile an hour, but on a track that you're not using the mile an hour enough. If I went to the Nordschleife right now and you ran any setup you want with higher tire pressure, I don't care if they're softs, mediums, or hards, and you've done every suspension tweak on the planet, I will get in a default car, put medium tires on it, and set the tire pressure to 21 pounds. I'll drive away from you on the Nordschleife because you'll be fighting oversteer and trying to drive around the potential snap oversteer. My car, I will just drive. Just drive. I'm telling you, I spent a lot of time with this car in the past 2 days, and the tire pressure is like the make or break setting. It's kind of annoying. But like I said, everything I'm saying to you guys, I've already told the devs about. So it's not like I'm complaining and not trying to help. I've already, done that. I'm just showing you what I've found. On ice-cold tires, look how fast we stopped by comparison to, what do you call it? High tire pressure. The temperature is almost irrelevant compared to the pressure. Pressure is so much more important than tire temperature in this. It's not even funny. And knowing what I know now about grip and how the tire is actually affecting things in this, right now in this current build, I would run mediums on low tire pressure before I ever ran a soft tire. Braked late on that one just to see what I could do. But see how my tires are getting inside of 1 lap? That will never stop. That will just keep going up. And the problem is that when the temperature goes up, the tire pressure goes up. So I'm technically losing grip every lap. Mediums stay the same. I am no longer looking at the tire temperature. I am now looking at tire pressure when I play this. If I was on the Nords right now, even in the wintertime, my tires would be overheating. I just throw it into these turns. This is not because of softs. This is literally because of the tire pressure. I promise. Wouldn't lie. No benefit for me to lie right here. Now let's do this. Return to pit. Vehicle setup. Load setup. Default. Let's put it on softs. No changes, just softs. Look at that tire pressure. So if you think that like putting the default car on softs, just watch. Now I'm a default setup driver. That's how I like to drive cars. I don't feel like sitting around tweaking cars, figuring things out. I just want to get in the car and go. Gonna brake at 150. 1, 2, 3. Unpredictable. Unpredictable. That felt solid right there going into that turn. And then it's just, nope, nope. Ass comes out. That was what was driving me nuts yesterday, or 2 days ago, Wednesday, when I was doing the LMDH test with this car. This car inspires so much confidence, and then it just kills you. iRacing at least inspires zero confidence, so it keeps you away from the limit. And it wasn't, and it's that literally, that goes away with the tire pressure. The softs don't matter, mediums don't matter, hards don't matter, tire pressure. Oh, we got it. Almost lost it, but we saved that one. Anyway, you get the idea. Or maybe you don't. Either way. All right, I got stuff to do. So just one more time, go over our ranking setup here. Well, those were pre-warm tires, by the way. That's why the tires coming out of the pit are 170 degrees when the ambients are 40. If they weren't warmed, they would have been 40 coming out of the pits. So anyway, best AI as of today. iRacing is number 1. AMS2 is number 2. Race Room is number 3. PMR is number 4. LMU is number 5. Rennsport's number 6. Those are our official numbers. Anyway, folks, that's going to wrap this one up. I got some stuff I got to take care of. I will be back later tonight. We're either going to be doing some Race Room, some Project Motor Racing, or AMS2. I'm undecided. It'll probably be Project Motor Racing because the most people can play it. But we'll see. I'm gonna put some feelers out there and see what we're in the mood to do. So, anyway, folks, thank you for being here. I had fun as always. Thank you for the new subs. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for watching. And I will see you this evening for some good old-fashioned open lobbies where one of us or none of us gets to be the winner. Anyway, folks, you guys have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you all tonight. Take care.